Hello everyone, welcome back to Fixing a Blind. Today we gotta replace the winch in my personal side-by-side. We had a little problem. Me and my cousin were out playing in the snow and foot got stuck on the throttle, got caught on a little lip on my shoe, whatever. But anyway, we hit a tree, dead center, right here. And what it did, it actually pushed the fairing for the winch in and also bent this plate. So what we're going to be putting on is we took out the 3,000 pound winch and we're going to be putting this Badland 5,000 pound winch in. Okay, and to do that we're going to have to put in a new winch plate, okay, because it is a different bolt pattern and the fairing is wider. The old one stopped about here. You can see, let me grab it. The old one is here, and so obviously the holes aren't going to line up for the fairing. Plus the bolt holes, the 4 bolt holes that hold the winch on, they're not correct either. Now, when we crashed her, we were doing probably, I don't know, 20 or so. And so it pushed the whole bumper back, it broke the hood mounts and everything. Oh, it looks like I lost a pin too. All right. But anyway, it bent this bottom plate here. Okay, so what we're gonna end up doing is this summer, I'll take it apart when I don't have to have the heat going and I can have the welder going so I can have ventilation and stuff in the shop. I will cut this plate out and we'll build a new plate for it. But for now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this plate that came with the winch. We're gonna set it on here. Get it how we like, drill the holes, and then we're going to use some washers underneath the plate to stop it from wobbling. You see she wobbles. So, and that should get us by to finish plowing for the season. So that's basically where I want to have it mounted, I think. I think we might need to go over just a hair more. Okay, so that looks pretty straight from the front end, and you can see how it doesn't sit straight in here. And that's just basically something we're going to have to deal with, I think. Oh, but I think we're going to move it a little bit more to the side, maybe. No? Doesn't seem to like to sit there. Okay, let's try that. All right, so now we're pretty straight with the bumper so that it doesn't look weird. You can see she bent quite a bit. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start drilling the first hole. And I'm just going to use a step drill. And we'll get this plate out of the way. And drill it all the way through, and then what we'll do is we'll put a bolt in this hole to hold the plate in place so we can drill the rest. Got to grab a bolt here. Now we are doing something a little different for audio this time. I bought a new digital recorder here. See if we can improve the audio quality and get rid of that annoying hum. So let's see. All right. That looks like what we want to see. Let's drop this plate back in. Get it lined up with that hole. And then just drop this bolt down. That'll kind of act as something to help stabilize it. Go ahead and drill the next one. All right, so the winch that we're using, that we're going to be putting in here, is a lot bigger. It's this one here. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to shake you. It's a zxr5000 from Badland's winch. It is basically, it's a Harbor Freight brand. And that's what we're going to be putting in there. It's 2,000 pounds more pulling capacity than what was on here originally. And I did notice, you know, this is at 1,100 pounds, you know, with nobody in it. And with 2 adults in it, that's another 500 pounds. Well, the rated pull of a 3,000 pound winch on 4 layers of rope or 5 layers of rope it's like 12 or 1,500 pounds. It's not very much. So this one on 4 layers, so if you don't have to pull the rope out very far, it's rated at 2,900 and something pounds pulling. And on the very first row, for the first 10 feet of rope, it's rated at 3,000. Or sorry, 5,000. Now you will notice, this roller is smaller than this roller. Okay, this is the lower roller. And it's done that way because people who plow, like me, it puts less stress on the cable. Okay, so that's going to help with that. All right, so if you guys buy this winch, I just want to show you what all it comes with. It comes with a lot of stuff. It comes with everything you need. So you've got the relay, okay, or solenoid. That's what it's actually called. You get a 12-foot remote, handheld one. Okay. You get positive wire with a circuit breaker on it. You get the wires that you're going to need to run down to the winch and the ground wire. They give you a hook, you know, brand new hook, rated at the, well, it's actually overrated at the capacity here. We have a dash mounted in and out switch. Okay, now I'm not running this in and out switch because I've got one mounted on my shifter and I kind of like where it's at ergonomically for backing up, and also I'm not a fan of their plug. Okay, so the one I have pushes in and locks in. It's got a little spring-loaded lock. This one is just like this, and it's got this little rubber cap. I like the one that I have. But what this does is it lets you split it so you can use the dash button or an external remote. They also do make wireless kits for these. I may be picking one of those up. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Oh, and it comes with a shackle. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start cutting these wires loose so I can go ahead and move them. All right, so need to get these two up here. And so we'll go ahead and snip it here. All right, so we're pulling these wires up. And I'm just snipping these zip ties because the wires are not where we need them to be. We need them to go to the other side for this winch. And then what we need to do is we need to make sure that we go ahead and replace these zip ties with new ones, because they're holding wires out of hitting the fans and, you know, other obstacles that they shouldn't be hitting. All right, looks like when they installed the winch, they gave us plenty here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of do what they did on that side, except for run the wires this way. And then we can run them down to the winch. All right, so we're going to drop the wires down. And now this one has red and black wires because the old winch was wired that way. This one here has yellow and blue, so it's color coded that way. So I got to figure out which way is which on this. If you reverse it, basically what it means is that when you hit the in button, it'll go out, and when you hit the out button, it'll go in. So we'll just place these on here for just a second and just finger tight just to test her out and see which one we need. Now a winch is it's a DC motor, okay, so it can run forward and backwards fairly easy without any issues. And how they work is why they use yellow and blue, and most winches are yellow and blue, except for the Chinese ones from the factories, you know, installed on these. They use red and black, but most of them are yellow and blue because they don't mean positive and negative like red and black does. All right, so we're going to go ahead and cut the zip tie here. And actually, I'm going to move you guys. Move you guys probably about here. Let's see. All right, so we cut the zip tie, and now what we need to do is we need to get this through here. Okay? And it's not always the easiest. Sometimes you have to remove one of the rollers. All right, looks like this is going to fit once I put it into free spool so I can unravel it. Okay. There we go. All right, so we'll go ahead and engage it and grab that hook. All right, so this hook, we just got to take this, bend this little cotter key straight. Okay, they only bent it a little bit because they want you to be able to pull it out and reuse it. Okay, so once we get it out, we just kind of give her a better straightening here. All right, then we pull this pin out and we go ahead and put her in. Okay, put the cotter key back through the hole. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and we will give it a bend. So I'm going to go in there and I'm going to operate the winch, and I'm going to I'm going to push the in button and see which way it goes. All right, that looks like we went out. So what I'm doing right now is I'm reversing the red and black wires. Because I want it, basically I have it so that in is up on my switch, so it's natural when you're plowing. You know, you push up and the plow goes up. Push down, plow goes down. So you don't have to really think about it. I mean, however you do it, you're going to learn how to do it anyway, but I just find it seems to be really nice for me. All right, let's go try this again. Hit the in button and see what happens. All right, she's good to go. Now later on this summer when I build a new winch plate, we'll actually put in the wiring that comes with it because it can handle higher amperage. It's a lot thicker. If you look at these wires, let's see, you see this? See how thin that is compared to how thick this is? You know, it's like 10 gauge, maybe The old stuff's like 10 gauge, whereas this is like, oh man, that's probably 6, maybe 4 gauge. So I'll just try to avoid long winches and getting stuck in the mud until then. All right, I'm gonna grab some zip ties, get those wires up out of the way, and then we'll call her quits. I will try to find this winch on Amazon and link it for you guys. If you guys decide to buy it, you know, that's up to you. But at least then it'll be there. So if any of you have questions or want to see more information, we'll do that. And then also once I have some runtime on it, I want to do a review. So, but I won't do that until we have some actual runtime of using it. So right now we're just securing these wires out of the way so they're not going to hit anything. They're not going to rub on anything and bounce on anything. I mean, worst thing that could happen for you is you need your winch and you go to hit the button and it don't work. Because that's kind of what happened to me afterwards. After we had hit that tree, I knew there was some damage, but I didn't realize it broke the winch in half. I went and put the plow back on, went to lift it up, and it didn't do nothing. She clicked, she tried to move, and I'll show you the instruction of what happened as soon as we get this. So basically, we just got them zip tied up here out of the way, and then that part of the wire just kind of dangles there. But now we have a lot more powerful winch, and I can get the plow back on for when it snows. All right, let's walk back here. We'll show you the destruction here. All right, so this is the old winch, okay? And basically what had happened is this piece used to be attached here. Well, inside of here, see that little burr there, okay? That burr was actually stopping the engine from rotating. This piece, okay, which is the part that the motor, you know, attaches to. Well, sorry, the motor comes up this way and goes into this piece, okay? And then these little dogs here engage those gaps there. And one of the bolts broke, and so it made it all cockeyed, and it started peeling the inside of the bearing apart. And since it was directly off the motor, there's no gear reduction. So this little 12-volt motor, she couldn't power through that. And so it would turn and it would hit that and it would just stop. And then you could put it in reverse and it would turn and it would hit it again. And so you could go between the two and just make it worse. And then the other thing is where's it at? Right here. See, you got one bolt hole there and another bolt hole here. Now, these two bolts, this case goes on here like this. Okay, let's see. 3000, yep. This case goes on here like this. And then these go here, you know, with that motor armature in between. And what happened is this bolt broke off because when we hit, it pushed in on here and must have made this just cockeyed enough to make it so she broke off. So she's pretty much done for. I am going to extract that bolt and try to clean up this little piece of bearing in there and see if I can't get it going good enough to maybe use it as like a shop, you know, lift to lift like heavy engines or something, you know, something that's well under its rated capacity because I don't expect it to be at that capacity anymore. But if you guys got any questions, make sure you leave comments, you know, even if you just have any suggestions for something that you would like to see in a video, feel free to let me know.